Hi guys, Artie here. I'll be going over the end of year summary for Cartoon Network as well as its sister channels Adult Swim and Boomerang. This year, Cartoon Network premiered 3 new shows: Tiny Toons University, Prince Avondale, and Jessica's Big Little World, which is technically a Cartoonito show. Not a bad selection, and they even aired Prince Avondale, which was long overdue, but they really need to get on top of premiering new series. I've heard rumors that new productions were halted because of the old Cartoon Network Studios building closing down and moving into the new Warner Brothers building, so maybe by then we'll have more shows coming out. Lately, they have been giving Cartoon Network's schedule a facelift and actually improving it quite a bit. I tuned into the channel on Christmas Eve and they were airing a different show every hour. They showed Scooby-Doo, We Bare Bears, The Looney Tunes Show, Tiny Toons University, Prince Avondale, Gumball, Craig of the Creek, Adventure Time, and Regular Show. The schedule has been fantastic lately and blowing expectations with a mass variety, unlike Nickelodeon and the repetitive channels. Hopefully they'll keep this up into next year. Meanwhile, over on Boomerang, they remember the channel actually existed and tinkered with the schedule quite a bit, and to an extent, they kind of brought back the classic schedule. Hell, they even aired Tasmania, which never even aired on Boomerang and stopped airing on the main channel in 1999. It feels like the schedule from the late 2000s and early 2010s in a way, minus the cartoons. Speaking of which, they should air the non-Checkered past cartoons like the Powerpuff Girls, K&D, Foster's, and Camp Lazlo more often, and not just at graveyard 4 AM time slots on Boomerang. I have another video planned where I discuss Boomerang revamping the schedule starting on New Year's Day 2024. On the Adult Swim side of things, this year they premiered Royal Crackers, Ambient Swim, Unicorn Warriors Eternal, and My Adventures with Superman. Not to mention, they acquired the newer seasons of Bob's Burgers and didn't lose the rights fortunately. Adult Swim is still running strong, and in fact performing better than Cartoon Network. I know it's technically a shared channel and neither of them are blocks, but at this point Adult Swim feels like the main channel and Cartoon Network is the block since Adult Swim has more hours. Oh how the tables have turned, but for the better due to the amount of content Adult Swim has to offer. Yeah, at this point Adult Swim should be its own channel, which I've already talked about in its own video. You should check it out. Also this year, Adult Swim expanded to the 7 PM hour in May, and then the 5 PM hour later in August when Checkered Past launched. This brings me to my next and arguably the most important topic, the Checkered Past block. WBD finally realized that people actually like the classic shows, and just because they have ended doesn't mean you can't show them. This block is so successful that it more than doubled the ratings during those time slots when they aired Dexter's Lab, Ed, Edd n Eddy, Billy and Mandy, and Courage. What actually inspired this block was the Cartoon Network 30th anniversary event from last year that aired during primetime before Adult Swim. It ended up getting substantial enough ratings to warrant a classics block. Checkered Past is doing fantastic and they should expand it. I'm glad that they added Cow and Chicken, I Am Weasel, and Evil Con Carne to the lineup. Also, as a result of Adult Swim expanding to 5 PM, Acme Night is now part of Adult Swim rather than Cartoon Network's Purgatory Hour. This year, they removed even more Cartoon Network shows from HBO Max, and the popular hits too, like Dexter's Lab and Clarence, which did not make any sense. Foster's Home and Flapjack were removed as well, but fortunately these 4 shows are available on other services such as Hulu, except for Dexter's Lab. Hopefully that classic finds a new streaming home eventually. Prime Video isn't the most ideal streaming platform. People would stop complaining if they just added all the Cartoon Network and Adult Swim shows onto Max. It's almost like they are actually encouraging piracy. The team in charge of the streaming service does not know what the hell they are doing. One of the worst decisions this year, besides purging of content, had to be the switchover from Turner's legacy Playout to Discovery's cloud-based Playout system. When it was rolled out on September 25th, more glitches and errors were prevalent on the channel. 4x3 shows aired in 14:9, and the classic 2007 white rating bug was replaced with Discovery's rating bug. Fortunately, they fixed the aspect ratio problem. However, errors are still frequently occurring on the channel, such as Adult Swim airing the same episode twice in a row by accident, and video quality issues. They actually fixed the issue with Cow and Chicken where it aired stretched to 16:9 widescreen on December 1st. When it aired again on Christmas Day, it aired in its original 4x3 format. That cannot be said for Evil Con Carne, however, as it continued to air in 144p with a poor bitrate. Due to the new and feeble Discovery Playout system being unable to handle the lossless copy of the episode they had, or the .mp4 file present on the master PC. Now, about the Cartoonito block. Yeah, I don't think Cartoonito is going to be around much longer. What I think will end up happening is that they will move the successful series like Batwheels and Jessica's Big Little World to Cartoon Network's daytime schedule, and scrap the block entirely, like what ended up happening with Tickle You in 2006. There's been multiple signs of the block just struggling and not performing well, with the executives ready to give up. Ever since the launch in 2021, they shuffled around the hours very often, with the hours originally being from 6 AM to 2 PM, and eventually reduced to 7:30 AM to 9 AM as of recording. Ever since the WBD merger, many planned shows were scrapped, although a few shows may be premiering in 2024. So the state of the block is in limbo at the moment. You know what they say, third time's a charm. Despite Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, and Boomerang's excellent programming strategies, they aren't pulling in high enough ratings and falling behind. Well, except for the Checkered Pass block, which boosted ratings by an astonishing 102%. However, the main reason for Cartoon Network and Adult Swim's poor ratings is because of cord cutting, and like I said in my previous videos, the channel is only on Comcast and Xfinity's more expensive secondary package only. Maybe Warner Brothers should do what they did back in the 90s and have Cartoon Network as a block on TBS or TNT during weekend mornings. Even True TV could work. I remember back in 2019 and 2020, TBS was attempting to get their now defunct animation block off the ground by airing reruns of Rick and Morty. So pushing CN and Adult Swim content on other networks could be a strategy to boost ratings somewhat and get around cable companies' shenanigans. You know what, 2023 was a huge improvement and a step up from 2022. We even got a few new shows. The highlight of this year definitely was the Checkered Pass block for airing classic Cartoon Network shows like Carriage the Cowardly Dog, not to mention the really good schedule changes. My outlook for 2024 is that it will be more or less the same, as long as they don't end up merging with Paramount. The people in charge of running the channel seem to know what they are doing and airing a good balance of shows on their networks. They just need to prioritize staying relevant and creating new content and shows. Overall, Warner Brothers linear channels are doing well, despite their deteriorating streaming service in the ever-changing media landscape. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, notify, and check out other videos on the channel. You may like them. Do you think Cartoon Network and Adult Swim improved this year and performed better than in 2022? And do you think they'll continue their positive streak into 2024? Let me know in the comments. Also, I want to wish everyone a happy new year and good luck in 2024 yet again.